Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the meeting of the Skokie Plan Commission for June 21st. And first order of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? I need a motion to approve the minutes. Yes. Commissioner Mitchell?
No, it's Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry, Jeff. To approve. Commissioner Lexpati, seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion, minutes have been approved. We have one case tonight, case 2018-20P, special use permit at 4154 Dempster Street. Tigger Capital LLC requests a special use permit for a child care, not in a residence, but in a B2 commercial zoning district. Okay, there's petitioner here. Please come up.
Good evening.
Have your name, sir?
Yes, Kenneth Santucci.
Okay, and is the notice in order, Counselor?
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit hard of hearing.
Okay.
Sure. No, notice is proper and correct, and I believe Mr. Matei has a brief statement to make.
Certainly.
I wanted to disclose that I am familiar with the petitioner. He has a relationship with the financial institution I work for. I have no conflict here. This is not in my jurisdiction. The relationship is handled by someone else at the bank. I just wanted to disclose that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Sir, can I have your name again, please?
I'm sorry?
Your name again, please?
Kenneth Santucci, Santucci.
Okay, your address, please?
6859 Southeast South Marina Way.
And you are the petitioner?
I'm the petitioner, correct.
Okay, raise your right hand, please. Do you affirm that the testimony you give tonight is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes.
Is there anyone else in your
Yes,
group
there's
would
the
come up and-
proprietress, Iona. Pop.
Would you just come up and
Come on, introduce yourself.
give us your name and,
Good evening, Iwana Pope, and I will be the owner of the business.
okay, could you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Your right hand.
Right hand.
Oh, sorry.
Do you affirm that the testimony you give tonight is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes.
Thank you. Are you going to make the presentation then?
He's going to make the
Okay.
presentation.
Please. So this is for a daycare facility.
I'm sorry?
This is for a child daycare facility.
Yeah, correct, right.
And you want to tell us about your project?
Oh, all right. Well, maybe you're familiar with Boardwalk Shopping Plaza, and it's located at Dempster and Keeler. And the site that we're talking about is on the westerly end. It's approximately a little bit under a 5,000 square foot site. And the shopping center is about 300 feet long. And we have a outdoor playground area adjacent to the center. And it's ideally located, and it's a very sound building. It's not that old. A new roof was put on 4 years ago. And I think it's a well cared for building, and I think it's an ideal application. I've held the space really open and waiting for a proper tenant. And I've been working with Iona for over half a year on this project. And if you want to ask particulars about the school, I would ask her to respond.
Is it a school or a daycare center?
I'm sorry?
Is it a school or a
I'm sorry,
daycare?
it's a daycare center. Daycare center.
Okay, very good. Well, perhaps Ionia want to take the microphone. We can ask you a few
I'm
questions.
sorry?
I'll have Ionia.
Oh, fine. Go ahead.
So this will be a daycare that will provide service for children from birth to age 6. It will follow the Montessori method, which I'm trained in. This facility was carefully designed, and we picked carefully everything that we consider it was needed, and it will be needed to serve this kind of age group. There is a indoor gym that we carefully designed it just because the outdoor space, which it will be available, cannot always be used considering the weather. And as a professional educator and a mother of 2 young children, I want what's best for the children in the community. So I carefully chose this place just because I think this would be best for everyone
Okay.
in the community.
And have you applied for and received state licensing?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, you're in the process.
Yes, everything is in process along with the DCFS licensing and what it takes. I've been working for the past 13 years with young children, and I've been doing administration for schools for the past 3 years. And it's been one of my dreams to
Okay.
be able to serve.
And how many children do you plan on, can you have at this facility?
We could have a max of 57 children.
Mm-hmm. And so, and how many, let's call them teachers, or
7 employees,
7 employees?
yes.
Okay. And are you say you're in the field now, is that what you're doing now, or?
Yes, it's been 13 years.
Okay.
now.
Any questions to the petitioner? Commissioner Quinn?
Would this be up to kindergarten level then, or?
Up to, based on the Montessori philosophy, which we want to comply with their regulations, we can go up to age 6, which it not always happens because of the public schools around.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
but it could, yes, it would be available.
Could you describe how the traffic flow will work in terms of drop-off and pickup coming in
So,
and out of the strip mall area?
The hours of operation would be from 7:30 until 6 p.m. And mainly the drop-off would be between 7:30 and 9. So from the east side of the parking lot, cars can pass through. We're willing to facilitate and have staff members help with pick-up and drop-off if it's needed from the car, so cars can just drive by. If I've seen it at other schools, it worked really smoothly, and they have to make a right because Keeler is the cars cannot turn left because of the traffic flow.
Yeah, there's a no left turn there at,
Yes. And
Yeah, that was my concern. I didn't recall if there was a left-hand turn allowed because it's right there at the corner. Keeler is popular during rush hour and pickup. So when families are coming out of there and trying to make a left-hand turn to get back on Dempster, it's going to be a mess. But if there's no left-hand turn allowed, I'm satisfied with that.
I'm sorry, did you say about the left turn? There is a left turn. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. I was concerned about the left-hand turn, so
Yeah.
since it's not allowed, I'm fine with that.
I'm happy to pitch in on functional things of the center.
So you can or cannot make a left-hand turn out of that lot onto Keeler?
You can.
Okay, so just
My
a warning,
mistake,
it will be the pain is really on the families and the kids trying to wait during those time periods.
That's why they have the facility, that's why the sidewalk on the east end of the playground area is a area to drop off and people receive and take the children right into the school. Car can go on.
okay, any other questions? Okay. Do you have anything else to offer? If not, I will ask the staff to give this report. Okay, thank you. If you sit down, I'll bring you up a little bit. Peter?
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to ask that the report be accepted into record as written.
No, granted.
Okay, thank you. We've been working with the petitioner for several months now to get this going. We've gone through the preliminary plan review process with them, so everything has been straightened out based on compliance with code. and staff is supportive of it. As many other strip areas in Skokie along major arterials, the retail isn't doing that well in some places, and the service uses such as this have been taking certain spots, and we believe this is a good mix for this shopping center. It used to be an art gallery, and now it's a daycare
Wasn't that
center.
the old Hammacher
Yes, it was.
Jewish store? Yes.
Yep, and there's also going to be a learning center in here for children, so it's a good combination. The traffic flow, as was presented, comes in on the east side and then goes to the west. There's plenty of parking. The place where the small playground was added eliminated some parking spaces, but there's still a surplus of parking in the shopping center, so we don't really see any kind of a problem. With the hours of operation, their pickup and drop-off is not at the peak time of the other businesses in the center, so that doesn't appear to be a conflict either not. So overall, we're supportive of everything on this request.
Is that left turn out of the center there okay with you? I mean, is that,
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that intersection many times. Sometimes you have to wait and it's backed up, and other times it's not. It's the same with the bank on the other side
yeah.
going through.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yeah, that was my concern about the bank traffic, because that's, a lot of people have to use that driveway system
Right.
in order to get out onto Keeler to make another left-hand, because when you come out the bank the other way, you can only make a right-hand turn.
Sure.
So, but you don't see any conflicts there.
Well, the only alternative otherwise would be to route everybody through a residential neighborhood. And I really don't see that this as being such a high volume use. It's going to be.
It'll be sporadic.
Yeah,
It's kind
it's-
of short paced, or, you know,
That's right.
just in the mornings and probably in the evenings. Any other questions? Commissioner?
Peter, I read in the report, I thought anyway, maybe I misread it, that there's 10 employees and just heard from the petitioner there's 7, but regardless, I'm assuming the employees will be parking in the lot all day?
That's our requirement. The parking requirement isn't based on employees. For other schools, it is. For daycare centers, it's based on square footage. And so actually, they have plenty of square footage too, and they meet the parking requirement.
So the 7 or 10 people parked all day isn't going to hamper business for any of the other occupants in the mall?
It doesn't appear to be.
And then just a question on the 4-foot high fence. I see that for the play area that the Appearance Commission chose not to review or didn't need to review it, but is there some requirements that since it's on the front of the building that be somewhat attractive in appearance?
It will be. I believe it's going to be a wrought iron fence, and it has metal bollards also to protect the fence.
I think, did you receive the
It's
Yeah.
schematic?
I don't know if I saw the fence, though. Maybe it was there, then I missed it.
I think I left it. I can project it.
Bless you.
So it's your typical wrought iron type fence. And with the protective bollards along the front.
That's going to be all anchored to the ground. It's not on stands,
Oh,
right?
definitely, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions of staff? Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Peter. Mr. Sanducci, would you please come back up? So you heard the staff report, and have you read the staff report and seen the
yes, I
recommended
have read the
conditions? Are there any problems with meeting any of those conditions?
No, it's very thorough. I mean,
Okay.
you know,
Very good. All right, at this time, is there anybody in the audience who has a question or comment on this case? Yes, please come up. For the record, could I have your name, please?
Hey, I'm Iram Jamani. This is Sana Bojani. We're sisters. Our mom owns the Mosaic Early Childhood Centers, and we work with our mom. So
Yes.
we're here on behalf of our Dempster location, like all three of our locations in Skokie.
So first, I'd like to just clarify that daycares are not simply babysitting businesses. I'm sure
Would
you
you
can
talk to
agree.
us, please? And
I said first, I'd like to clarify that daycares, no matter what the title, Montessori, childcare center, whatnot, are not just babysitting services. They all provide education. It's just a different method of teaching at each one. And there are already too many in Skokie. By allowing more, you're just taking away from the daycares that are already in business and that have been for years. It doesn't make sense for Skokie to allow two daycares to be so close to each other. You can literally see it from the window. And it's not advantageous to Skokie because there are two on Dempster, actually three, and one very nearby in Morton Grove, so four on Dempster. It's kind of a waste of space for Skokie. There's a lot that can be done with that space. And then Skokie already has at least 3 Montessoris that I can name off the top of my head as well. And while the idea might be that competition drives quality, that's not enough to approve yet another child care center in Skokie. Why not invest in and support the child care centers that already exist? In the shopping centers with 2 daycares within 1 mile, give or take, there's just no conceivable reason to open another one.
Okay. Let me remind you that, we're not in the business of encouraging daycare centers to open. Basically, the land is available. The landlord, the owner of the land, he has the option to rent it out to whoever wants to rent the business or the space. And if the woman wants to put in a daycare center, that's what she wants to do. There's nothing that the village can do, and there's nothing the village is promoting in this case.
Well, you're approving a license to change the use, so
Well-
you are doing something.
We are, but the thing is that it is within the purview of this commission to approve items that, unless it runs against code or anything like that, but there is no provisions to protect other businesses in this manner.
Yeah, but that's why this is an open floor, right, for people to come.
Yes, I
and-
understand,
Yeah,
but
and
I
you
just wanna
guys,
explain this to you.
technically, the commission represents the residents of the village of Skokie.
Right.
So you guys do take into consideration what your residents want. Now, if it was already approved to have a daycare in there, of course, we wouldn't be here, but it's changing. So there is something here, otherwise this wouldn't be open to people to come voice their opinions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And Dempster is a very busy street at
It is a very busy street.
5:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. We have parents, I have parents walking in at 6:01, 6:02, 6:03, because there's no way they can make it without getting into a car
Sure.
accident. So it's just adding another place where parents have to pick up so close to us. And having with children, it just doesn't make sense,
Yeah, well, we've reviewed your special use case too a few years back.
Correct, yeah,
So-
quite a few years back. It's
Yeah,
a
quite.
long time that we've
And I
been.
understand you're doing a very good business there, and we're very happy with you, so,
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
okay,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to come up and have a comment or a question on this case? Not seeing any. Okay, I am open for a motion, either to approve or not to approve.
Motion for approve.
Commissioner Laxpati, I'm sorry,
Motion for approve as.
as presented by staff?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Mitchell. Okay, I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Quinn.
Aye.
Commissioner Scott Berman is absent. Commissioner Velages is absent. Commissioner Paradise.
Aye.
Commissioner Laxpati.
Aye.
Commissioner Jeff Berman.
Aye.
Commissioner Matei.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. Motion passes. Now, the commission is an advisory board to the Board of Trustees. So the decision here is not final. You're more than welcome to come before the board and express your concerns. And I believe, the board meets on the first and third Monday of every month. If you give us your name and address, we will notify all of you who want to be notified when that meeting will be. Okay? Thank you for coming. Any other business before the commission? None? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.